Okay, starting our route on the bike path in East Longmeadow. I believe it's 1.5 miles long. Along the way you will see some points of interest along the way to see where this used to be a train track that went through East Longmeadow. Bikers, joggers, dog walkers, people walkers on this route. Benches along the way if you want to sit and rest. This is some of the view along the bike path. Here comes the sign. I can tell you what it is. This aerial photograph from 1967 shows railroad tracks running along the former Milton Bradley Company. They were one of the biggest manufacturers of games and toys in the world. The company is now Hasbro, which now is Catalandra, I believe. Chestnut. Dedicated with love to the Corey Milwaukee Foundation in honor of Corey. Bench was honored in Corey Kawicki's name. Lots of nice pines along the way. A lot of times they're decorated at Christmas time with ornaments. Where we stand here now is the rear of the former Pratt & Whitney aircraft company, constructed by the government during 1942 to construct aircraft engine parts. Pratt & Whitney aircraft employed 4,300 men and women. In December of 1946, the former package machinery company moved to the site and produced wrapping machines, plastic and injection molding machines until 1986. Since this time, several local companies use the building for storage and other business needs. All right, you are viewing a 1987 aerial photograph of the railroad tracks from Chestnut Street looking south down Shaker Road. In the foreground is the Tyler Equipment Corporation that sells, rents, and provides parts for construction equipment. This is still in business today. This photo is from the 1950s, shows the railroad crossing on Chestnut Street toward Shaker Road. The former Country Corners restaurant is shown on the left. And now that is Shell gas station. This is current. This building here is American Saw. Sold saws throughout the world. American Saw is now called Lennox. This is the family bike shop. You can access it from the path. If you have a bike repaired, they'll take care of you. Can you hear it? This place here will install radios, I believe, for your car. And in this location, remote starters as well, which is a great idea for your car in the winter. Highly recommend them. It's a juice place called the Coming Soon, the new home of My Main Squeeze Juice Bar and Cafe. And across the street is a bowling alley on Shaker Road. Pictured here is the all-Swedish gang constructing the railroad bed through East Longmeadow in 1875. Remarkably, while only using hand tools, they did a remarkable job of leveling the land. Look at these guys. These were some hard-working guys. We're passing Frigo's restaurant. They make the greatest sandwiches in town. If you're in East Longmeadow, stop and grab one. This spot is where the Norcross brothers' traveling crane was situated from their mill and loaded stone onto a train car for transport to various locals throughout the United States to ease unloading the stone. They were responsible for the rail line expanding into East Longmeadow to support the up-and-coming brown and red stone quarrying industry. Several important buildings such as armories and museums throughout the United States are constructed using East Longmeadow brown or red stone. That includes our East Longmeadow Town Hall. That's pretty cool. Archie Rintoul opened the community feed store during 1931. This circa 1950 photograph shows all of his workers. You can see Mr. Rintoul standing in the back row holding his hat. Community feed. A photograph from 1994 shows employees of the former community feed store. At the right end of the second row is the owner, James Rintoul. Their doors opened for the last time on May 20th, 2005. This May 5th, 1966 photo shows a 1910 Iron Horse steam locomotive in front of the railroad depot on Maple Street in East Longmeadow. The second run celebrated the 100th anniversary of the Hartford Steam Boiler Inspection and Insurance Company. Engine 89 was the Green Mountain Railroad in Steamtown, Vermont. Here is the train depot. It has been converted into Fogbuster Coffee Works. It's a hot dog and ice cream shop now. We see the town seal everywhere. Who designed it? Sheila Osgood, with a history of 60 years of commercial art with the gifted artist who designed the painted or current town seal. Sheila was born in Springfield, Mass. in 1927. She began her career as an illustrator and artist at the former Eastern States Farms Exchange in West Springfield. At the age of 27, she married William Osgood and moved to Atlanta, Georgia, where she worked as a fashion illustrator for Rich's department store. She later moved to Florida, where she worked for several department stores, including Jordan Marsh, and then to the Bahamas, where she did some illustrations for advertisements. She and her husband moved back to East Longmeadow in 1984 and lived in our area until her death on Christmas Eve in 2007 at the age of 80. This building here along the bike trail is the former R.E. Phelan Company. Then it changed to Carling Combustion Corporation and then went out of business. The building is now covered in all kinds of debris. This used to be the entrance of the building. Can't even see the door anymore. It's completely covered. Now the bike path starts right beside this. Let's go. Our railroad station in East Longmeadow was built in 1876 here on Maple Street, as shown in this circa 1911 photo. On a typical day, 2 passenger and 2 freight trains passed through town traveling each way. East Longmeadow became its own town in 1894 by separating from the town of Longmeadow. Before 1894, East Longmeadow was known as the East Village. East Longmeadow's wide quarrying industry existed in various stages from the 16th century until 1972, relying upon the railroad to transport stone for building construction throughout the United States. Here they have a little library, little free library. Take a book, share a book. Hot dogs. Grand Central Station. This is where the depot was when there was a railroad here. Now they serve ice cream and hot dogs. Now back on the walk-in trail. This bike path is 1.5 miles, 3 miles total. There's resting places along the way. Hope you enjoyed walking along the path with me.